Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I wanted to talk about cheap LEDs and sort of how you can prolong their life if you're dealing with some that you know are going to burn out. One of the biggest characteristics you can see with a cheap LED, so for instance I just bought these for my car because I figured okay, an LED would sort of be nice compared to the really burning hot incandescent bulbs. This is sort of what it replaces, are these 12-volt wedge-based bulbs. But these are going to burn out, and I just know it because if you plug one of them in, also LEDs are polarized, and these don't have any markings as far as which polarity is which. So trying to connect it up to 12-volt. So there you can see it's extremely bright. It's blindingly bright, and LEDs are very voltage sensitive. So if you're driving for a long time, also cars actually have fluctuating power because of the alternator. Sometimes if you're revving it up and going on a freeway and stuff, the car's battery level will be more close to 14 volts or 16 volts instead of the listed 12. So if these are sort of able to tolerate 12 volts and then you rev up your engine and end up going faster than that, you know, it'll last for a bit, but most likely they'll get really hot and burn out. And what you can do to try and prolong their life is add a resistor. So here's one that I've modified. You can see it's dimmer, and also the car has a dimmer in it, so you can turn down the brightness of your dashboard lights. So let's just see if I can light up unmodified and a modified side by side, just so you can sort of see. So here's unmodified, very bright. And especially in person, it's very noticeably different. I wish I had a less shoddy way to hook these up, though. So the one on the right is the modified one. The one on the left is unmodified. I added a 200 ohm resistor inside of the plastic shell that they provide with these. Oh well, I can't get that to stay, but these, especially in person, are noticeably dimmer. So this should, also adding a resistor in line with it will also help with just regulating over voltage, and it'll help to protect the bulb. So if we just move these pins out and pull the shell off, you can just see right in here, they basically just soldered all of these onto each other. I'm not 100% sure if they're like soldered in series or if there's any resistors hidden inside, but China, I've kind of noticed, likes to overpower their bulbs, where they'll actually sort of give them more power than they should have, and hence they say, oh, you know, it'll last for a super long time, even though in reality it'll probably last you, I don't know, maybe a year or so. It depends on how many of these you put on the string. Because if you put a ton of them and load the power supply, then it may last longer. But anyway, you saw just basically, it's marked positive and negative there, if the camera will focus. Positive and negative, and so I just clipped off the positive with a pair of nippers, and you just clip this in, and then I'm just using 220 ohm resistors, but you can sort of gauge this yourself. You can just sort of put a resistor in line with the power for it. don't know when my camera's not focusing. So if you just put a resistor in line with it, you can sort of gauge yourself how bright it'll be. So just power supply is also janky. So we just go in line with it there. So you can play around with this, because usually you can just get a whole pack of these resistors for pretty cheap on eBay and stuff. So then I'm just gonna bend it against itself pretty close there. We'll zoom in. Of course my work area here is a mess, but just bend it against itself. And we're gonna go ahead and add a dab of solder. And then we'll just attach the resistor. It'd be better if I was closer, but I'm trying to film, so I don't want to be in the way. We'll see. I don't know if that ended up shorting it out. So this is a good lesson. If you end up accidentally shorting it, just run your soldering iron right in the middle until you can break the connection that you accidentally made between the two pins that aren't supposed to touch. And then I'll just go ahead and redo this. There we are. Not the best job in the world, but good enough. And then you can go ahead and clip off the excess. Having a bit of a hard time filming and working, but there, now it should work, assuming, yeah. So it's dimmer, it's not, so if you see, like, here's on resistor power, and then if we touch it straight here is full brightness. So you can see it's sort of noticeably dimmer. And then you just go ahead and take the shell and you feed the pins back through. What's nice is the resistor is pretty much the exact same metal material that they used originally for these pins. And then here you just